It's only
I feel like
game. Why you have to be mad?
Sorry, what was that?
Is he Nashville? Am I close geographically?
They've
The
been cooking it
contracts.
up.
The contracts are coming in.
No one knows what he is. He's a big orange monster
What's
with
he?
googly eyes.
He's
and
a gritty.
Okay.
little.
The Florida lead.
What do you think of Owen's bracket? Do you remember it?
It's hopeful.
I can't wait to talk about how shit the Sens are.
The Bruins suck too.
I saw.
Hey,
You
Vegas
didn't get
hasn't
shut
been
out
doing
though. You
well.
scored. No, I don't care. We got shut out. Ugh, ugly, ugly
That's a lot.
hockey.
Losing a lot,
Fight
baby.
people a lot.
There was a lot of fight. Did you see how many penalty pins it was at the end? I didn't even get the total when I sent it to y'all. There's some
no.
extras. It was like 160 something. It was
I
insane.
saw the clip of the
One.
everyone on the ice is 10-minute misconducts.
Right,
Among
there was
other
there was
penalties.
100 at a time, right? And then also, yeah, it was crazy. There's your cold open. This is the Bread Loves Hockey podcast. Happy to have you guys here on my podcast.
Thanks for having me.
If you
Owen.
could
I'm a
introduce
big
yourselves.
Thank you for bringing us together.
I'm the glue.
Fan. Big
on this
fan.
Wednesday.
Long time, first time, every time.
All the time.
All right. Oh,
All the
host
time.
Owen, what would you like to start the pod with?
We can keep going on how terrible the Sens are.
ahead.
We're trash. Dumpster fire. Ready to fire the coach. Should have happened after we left Sweden, but we won. Crazy. Should have lost both those games in Sweden, and then coach gets fired. Instead, we win. Come back, play some uninspiring hockey, and get our asses handed to us by the big brother, the Florida Panthers. Matthew Tkachuk and the whole crew absolutely have their way with us. Score three times on the first three penalties. Granted, the second one got reviewed and then was wrong, so there was another penalty, and then they immediately scored. So it was, a lot of momentum swinging in the other direction, and then the bring ourselves back together and try and get in the fight was by just gooning them, just like being a bunch of punks. Which, stand up for yourself, but the Zach McEwen shot was totally out of the blue. I didn't see it coming. He had some beef with Matthew and just came out of nowhere. High, hard elbow straight to the back of his head, like along the boards. Gonna get called every time. But then they both dropped the gloves and kind of fought. And that started the whole parade. By the middle of the third, there was 11 skaters for either team left to play. Everyone else has just been kicked out because they started just yanking anybody. After the first big kick everybody out, the first next scrum, first two people gone. Matthew Joseph had done nothing the whole time. Nothing. He hadn't been the main guy the whole time, and he bumps into somebody at the end, and they're chilling on the boards next to each other. A good friendly hug. And they're immediately just like, "Nah, you're gone."
It makes sense.
So
You
it
want
was
the game to get out of hand when you're up.
right.
It's a 4-0 game. The game's over. You just want everyone to get out without injuries.
If you're throwing 10 people off the ice at one time, the game got out of hand.
Yeah.
I think they
you're
lost
trying
it.
to,
Try to pull it
further
back as hard as you can. So yeah, it was kind of crazy to watch.
Did you see?
I also learned the fun fact of the Sens being the highest penalty minutes total, which is what they got second place to this time. We also have the first place.
Wow. So
Florida
they're a
and
rough
against
and
Florida
tumble
last
team.
year. It was literally this matchup last year.
Oh my god.
Had more pins.
It's the Kachuk's fault.
Sibling
It's the
rivalries.
but they don't touch each other. They will not fight each other, which fair. It's your brother.
Are you kidding me? That's every reason to.
Would have the Bens fought?
Liam, if you're listening, no hard feelings, buddy.
No, throw down, Liam. Brendan says he could take you.
No, I don't think so. I could probably step on him, I guess, enough times, maybe, but.
You can tell this guy's been in a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Experience. Pa, pa, pa.
Yeah, the Sens are last in the East, but not by points percentage because
we're
Columbus
so many
has
games
6
behind.
games in hand. Yeah, out the Sweden trip, right?
Out to Sweden, and then we had another, and we played Tuesday and don't play again till Friday. We've had so many days off. It's been
I
ridiculous.
was
So much
surprised.
free
I
time
was surprised they
to
weren't playing
fire a
tomorrow.
coach,
Yeah.
right? Like
Or
one
to give
better
him one more
time.
chance.
How many one? I guess the thing is he's on borrowed time anyway, so like might as well just hold. Well, who are you?
What's the
And the other
coaching
thing is
change gonna
who are you
do
gonna
now?
hire?
Yeah.
Like who realistically, unless you're just gonna have an
DeFilippo.
interim.
How about Dean Evison?
There's been talk
We'll get to it.
of Patrick Waugh coming in,
I have heard him like
which
sniffing around
would
over there. And,
Waugh and Alfie as like an assistant. Oh, because Alfie's undefeated behind the bench. He didn't get behind the bench when they came back and started losing. He was only behind the bench in Sweden, which sick, so cool. And they won both games. He's out there like obviously gassing people up, right? It's the legend of the Senators, right? The best one we have so far. Um, Finally back with the organization, and he's said like he wanted to come back but couldn't because of other things. Eugene. Um, but yeah, it was cool to see, and hopefully he'll be back at some point whenever DJ goes and finds a new job. They say they play for the coach, but they didn't play very well. So
hmm.
what does that say?
You said you want to fire the coach now, but like, do you actually think that's gonna help, or does it make a difference if you wait till the end of the season at this point?
I mean, I guess it depends on how much management thinks there's a chance of us actually making playoffs, right? Like, if management thinks that there's a legit chance we turn it around, they can do the math, points percentage, whatever. Look at the games, actually what they are, right? Not just like imaginary percentage of points, right? Um, and they think that there's a chance. Like, I don't want to say don't go for it and like make the change if he's already like a dead man walking, you're gonna fire him in the offseason. Like, might as well try and make it happen. But if you're waiting, if you can't get your guy, wait for it, right? Like, clearly we've been holding on to him long enough. He's one of the longest tenured coaches, I think, now at this point, despite having one of the not best records. However, like every Sens year, we start out terrible and then fix it at some point, and it comes together. Um, Maybe we get to that fix it time this time. Maybe we don't, and it all just implodes one last time before bouncing off. I honestly have no clue. I came in with so much optimism this season. I was so
Oh
stoked.
yeah.
I got another $10 from you,
You're gonna get another $10 from me when I inevitably, yeah,
or
lose
whatever we
on our
bet.
bet for the Sens making the playoffs. Did I even say? Did I say fourth in the Atlantic or did I say playoffs?
I don't remember. Also, my old text got deleted, and I got a new phone, so someone else is gonna need to go through the group chat.
Uh,
Nope. I might be
Brennan
absolved.
will have to.
I might be absolved from that one. I don't
I think we
remember if it
also did
was.
we did a betting line, I think.
Oh, like a one to yeah. Sure. I know what that means too. I also gamble.
Yes.
Um,
I was also gonna say,
yeah.
for the whole Smith thing, like if like management probably like if they do feel like firing him, it's probably like to save their own asses too. Like they could get fired if the ownership doesn't think that they're doing enough in their like power to make a
I
change for
mean,
this team that had big expectations. Like Andlauer, I'm sure was like
yeah,
ex- buying the team with a certain thought that their trajectory was playoffs and what kind of revenue that's going to bring in among other
absolutely.
things like so
That's pure
yeah
extra money, right? They
yeah
don't account for playoff games. So when you get there, that's just just butts and seats extra money. But I mean, somebody already lost their job, right? Like Pierre Dorian's already gone.
yeah
Um, and Steve Stais was brought in by Andlauer. He's not. Stais isn't going to get fired. He hasn't done anything yet, and he's best buddies with Andlauer, so he's not going anywhere. There's other, I think, internal pieces. Obviously, they can get moved, but that feels like more of an offseason thing that should have happened last offseason. Except for the sale took forever, right? So he didn't actually take control until like 3 days before the season started,
yeah
which is ridiculous. Um, who knows why? We'll never know. That's NDAs behind the books. Who knows? But yeah, the next person to lose their job is the coach. Or I saw it. I don't know if it was on Reddit or if it was on Twitter or wherever. But somebody said that if something doesn't change and we keep like abysmally losing games, it wouldn't be surprising to see like you know Giroux or Chikrin or like some of these guys that aren't necessarily core guys, um, like young core guys asking for trades out. Like Giroux, I don't know if I'd believe because I think he's here in a hometown way, but I could see Chikrin asking out. I could see Tarasenko. Kubalik doesn't have the buying power, right? He hasn't done anything. He's our most likely ship out candidate. Um, but yeah, I've also heard talk of shipping out Batherson, which I've been on board with at times. I don't
What
know if it's a
about
player that's got to go or if it's a
which of those? Any of those players you named? Any of the ones that just got like the long-term contracts? Like any of the people that just got 8-year deals? Do you
no.
think they're all gonna stay?
I mean, I can't imagine Brady's gonna up and leave. That would, I think, rock some shit, right? And also the captain.
That would be that would be like the worst thing for the
I
team.
mean, but also, yeah, how do you can't even comprehend that like going on, right? Like captains retire, they don't ask for trades. Or I guess you trade them off to the
I'm sure
Sharks,
he has a no. I was gonna see he has a no move clause.
or you trade one off to the Kings potentially, or the Knights. You're just giving you yours. But yeah, it was. It's gonna be interesting in Sensland. I don't think Stützle could be moved. I don't think Sanderson could be moved. I mean, obviously anyone would, I think, take those contracts, but I don't see. I think because they're the ones that are locked up, and Josh to a lesser extent because he's further into his contract, right? And Drake to a lesser extent because his contract is lower. I think it's only 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, somewhere in there. Um, just that they are the team, like they are the top six. They are the
Yeah, I
it
mean
would yeah
they're like the identity of the team, the face of the
the
franchise,
whole thing.
basically.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, if these guys don't work out, you're like so royally screwed.
Like
Like it's not
what do
even
you
it's not
even
even close. It's like, oh my god,
right.
we're the worst situation in the league if it feels like they're at that stage.
Right. It's like if Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield both said like, nah, we're done. We
Yeah,
kind of want to go.
it's like, well,
Right.
what are we all doing this for then? You
Like,
know?
why should any of us try? Like, yeah. So I think it's hard to say who. Like, I don't want to say people are gonna like ask to leave, but I don't think any of the like core people that have been locked up would be those people if it
Probably not.
does come down to it.
But
And
still some
Tarasenko on a
season
1-year
left.
deal, I think the biggest risk on him is just not getting him back. I can't imagine on a 1-year deal you're gonna try and go jet off to another team. If you want to go play somewhere else, you can do that next July, right? Take care of that
And
then.
I looked as far as forwards go. Tarasenko has a no trade clause, and Giroux has a no
Huh.
move clause. No one else has anything.
Hmm.
I'm surprised on like
Stützle
On the
Stützle,
8-year
or
deals,
Buck
yeah.
don't have
Chuck.
anything. Norris.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder which side would prefer that. Like, who is that in favor for? Is
Up to
that
players because they can choose what teams they get traded to.
Yeah,
Well,
no? I'm
it's
saying by
also
not having it.
not having it would be the team, obviously.
It helps the
also a
team, right?
no
Because you can just ship them off
move
wherever.
clause
Yeah.
is even more like beneficial for the player because that means you can't be put on waivers.
Mm.
You can't get claimed by other teams.
But with a no
But
trade clause, you could still be put on waivers.
Yeah.
Okay. I think get
yeah,
claimed by whoever or get sent down to the minors
right.
or
If you're not
whatever.
being traded, you're getting taken.
Right, right. Your contract is being repossessed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then there's also the modified no trade clause where normally like
Right.
a player picks 10 teams.
6 team, 10 team, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, it would be interesting that I think that might be just like a Sens thing. Like I've heard rumblings of that just being like a. Granted, that was I think maybe a Pierre Dorion thing, because he was the one signing all these contracts, and made it a Sens thing over the last 7 or so years. That it just like not a lot of bonuses, not a lot of player-sided stuff. More of just like come and play hockey. We're gonna pay you some money.
Yeah. Vegas
No
has 5
frills,
forwards and 3 defensemen with either no
no
move
trade
or no
clauses.
trade.
Huh.
And
They
Aiden
said we
Hill
have
has.
just 2 forwards and no anything else.
So you have the
5
2
forwards,
forwards
Oh,
and
yeah.
3 defensemen actually.
Shabbat, Chikrin.
It's actually
Zub?
Hamonic, Zub, and
Oh.
Chikrin.
Oh,
Actually,
sure.
Shabbat isn't
Yeah,
he?
Hammer.
Oh, he's on IR, but
That's
no,
it.
he
He's
doesn't
on
have
IR.
anything.
He doesn't? Was that another one of those long contracts that Pierre Dorion signed?
I think of Boston. I think Boston has a lot, but well, I guess that was more the older guys.
Yeah,
Mm.
probably not as many.
That makes
now.
sense.
Like
Makes sense with the older guys, right? You don't want to like up
Um,
and move your entire family,
4 forwards, 3 defensemen,
and you have a little
Omar.
more leverage as somebody who is a veteran.
Yeah, but like so Bergeron, Marchand, and Pasta all had them, and Krejci, but
Mm.
now so obviously Brad and Pasta still have it, but and then Aka Coyle,
Either the goalies.
Mark does modified the 15 team no trade list.
Oh, jeez, half the
Fif-
league.
15. That's kind of a weird number.
Lucic has a no move clause.
Like, why don't
It was probably half the league when it was
It might have been
signed.
when he's all right. Well, actually, it wasn't that long ago.
Well, I
was
guess
gonna say
it's
maybe
it's less than half for like because he can't be traded to Boston, so it's 31 teams. So it's like
Sure,
15 and a half is really the half of the
Right.
league. So
Oh, you
You just-
figured it out. Good
you just
math.
round down instead of round up.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way,
Well, also when he signed the contract, there might have been only 31 teams.
It might have been pre-Seattle.
yeah, or yeah,
The contract came into
Probably.
effect 21-22 season, so for the 4 year, and this is Seattle's 3rd year.
hmm
So maybe.
They came into the
Oh,
It would
league.
have been
same
the
time.
same year
Yeah,
when he
same
signed
year.
it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of.
I
What
wonder
a
if
great
I wonder if
buzz.
Seattle's on the list.
On what
That,
list?
there's
Then
they're
yeah,
very
the no
private
trade list.
about that. Like
Oh, yeah.
the media can't even like get.
Oh,
like,
but it would be
ask
so cool to
I
look
know
at like
it would be
It's like the,
awesome to know.
you know how they
look
do
at the
that,
anonymous
like,
player polls.
the player polls every year. and,
Yes.
Like, the no trade. Which team does not? Do
Yes.
the most players not want to be moved to?
Right. Like, what is your number one pick that would go on your no trade list? Like, it doesn't have to, or like, what are your top 5 on your no trade list? Like, you could just pull everybody on it. Like, some people who have it, some people who don't. But like, what would
No,
be
I want to know
your
the stats of.
the actual real?
Locked in, yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure like the NHLPA has like fought really hard to not
Oh
have
yeah.
that. Like
Mhm.
it's the players
feel like
don't
the
want to
teams
get
don't want that.
harassed. Like
The teams don't want that. You don't want to
Yeah.
be the teams that nobody wants to go to and have that be known.
Yeah, and you don't want the players to like or like fans to know that you don't want you don't want to be traded to this team or whatever. It's like
Right.
yeah, there's gonna be a lot of harassment, which is there's
other
already
thing is-
enough as it is, unfortunately.
Some players don't want to play for their home team, and that would get them. Like,
Yeah,
imagine if you're from like Montreal and you don't want to play in Montreal, like it's on your no trade list.
that would be crazy.
I don't think that exists.
that's not
Does
a good
that exist.
that's
Oh,
not a
yeah.
realistic example.
Or was that
but-
Bergeron? I guess.
I guess, yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, that
I'm
was
sure
more of a
it's
rivalry
happens, yeah.
thing. But no, they Elliot Friedman had talked about this. Like
Huh.
'cause, I mean, he's an insider. He knows these things.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, maybe if you like
Talk to more hockey players than I have.
if you were like a Leafs fan that lived in Montreal or vice versa,
Mm.
like yeah, like that's just how you were raised. Like your parents moved there or whatever, and that's like yeah,
Like, yeah, you can be from Toronto and not want to be in that like deal with that media or just like be in that.
Or even like that team, right? Like you're allowed to live somewhere. Like Dean, if he has kids and they're Boston Bruins fans, but they grew up and play hockey in Colorado, they may not want to come back and play hockey for the Avalanche, right? They may want to go play for the Bruins because
play
that's
for
the
the
team they
Bruins.
watched.
yeah,
There
right.
you go.
Making a lot of assumptions, but I would imagine if Dean is a kid, it's gonna play hockey. It's gonna like the Bruins.
He's gonna play for the Bruins.
It's gonna play for the Bruins. I think those are pretty easy, pretty clean assumptions there.
Yeah.
Or the Boston PWHL team.
Yes, not Pride. That was the
No,
old
it's
one.
Wicked.
Well, they're just the
what?
Boston team.
Wicked. It was like the name that they like
Wicked,
was
yeah,
like leaked,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean they still haven't said that. Like
Oh,
they're-
right, because all their jerseys just say is they're like Boston.
yeah, so like are they not
Ottawa.
having nicknames this year at
Names?
all?
Nicknames, names, or any names?
I think
Boston
that's what
hockey
you call them,
team.
nickname. They're all
It's
just
like,
city club basically, like Boston team.
yeah.
For
I mean,
this
that's
year.
very, that's very like British Premier League, right? Like it's just called like Manchester,
Boston HC.
right? Because that's where it is.
Yeah,
Like,
but I hate
well, I
that.
mean, wow, sorry. Or like the Washington football team.
Plus, like,
The
Well,
Washington
the New
football
York
team.
team is also playing in Connecticut this year.
Well, New York metropolitan area.
So the arenas just got like revealed basically, and the only one so far that shares an arena with an NHL team is Minnesota. The
Right.
Minnesota
I thought XL
PWHL
Energy was.
team
Yeah.
plays in XL. So I'll just list out the other ones. So New York is the Mattamy Athletic Center. Oh no, sorry, that one's in Toronto. My bad. The one in New York is Total Mortgage Arena, which I believe is in Connecticut.
Is that the one in the middle of the mall?
I don't
In
think so.
Hartford? That'd be cool.
Play Brass Bonanza. So Minnesota or Boston is UMass Lowell. Ottawa is TD Place.
That's where
Montreal
the
is
76ers play, or the 67s play.
67. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
Um, so they actually play in Ottawa, like that's
Oh yeah,
actually
oh
in
yeah. It's like
Ottawa.
close to downtown. Yeah.
So yeah, the
An actual.
PWHL's already getting that right.
Oh, I would. It would be so cool, and would definitely, if I lived there, would go to PWHL games because it's so close and better than going out to Canada.
Yeah. And last one is Montreal plays at Verdun. Verdun. I don't know. I'm not from the area.
Then
Even though I took French,
no.
but I'm not French. I think that's pretty clear.
I saw recently that French TV has been talking about ChatGPT, and they say ChatGPT, and apparently that means cat I farted. And so they'll just be talking, and the translation will say like, whatever. Schools are really worrying about cat I farted in the classroom. Very silly.
That's pretty good.
That's my French bit of interesting thing for the day.
Great.
That's what I bring. Interesting
Yeah.
tidbit.
Well, you got like 5 more you need to catch up on. We didn't get any in your first 5 appearances, so
Oh, jeez.
hopefully you have some
Um,
extra ones queued up.
Doing it for the next 5.
There you go.
It'll be in eras. This is my tidbit era.
Oh, okay, good. Anywho, we
What's
we
up
sort
next,
of
didn't
got
Dean?
off
mention that
the
the
rails there.
games will start January 1st, right?
I did not. So yeah, that was like what we were pretty sure was going to happen, and they've confirmed it. So yeah, the first game is New York versus Toronto in Toronto.
Sorry,
So
what are we confirming? New York versus Toronto, and Toronto is the first what?
that they're playing the first game, January 1st.
Oh, the first game of the new year.
The first game of
What?
the league, the PWHL.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, what? What? They've played each other.
Obviously, they're playing the Winter Classic that day.
Right.
It's
That
of
was
course it's
confusing.
the first day of the new year.
Right.
I can see why
So yes,
you were confused.
the first day of the PWHL, January 1st. I did see that. The
Yeah.
first, I saw they released all the first home games. There's a home game in Ottawa on the
That's what I
4th.
was just
There's
reading
like,
from.
oh, sick. I got lost for a second.
Yeah,
I figured it out now. Let's go.
that's good. You had something, Dean?
Um, segueing back to firing coaches half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah,
Got it.
we mentioned that Evison is now available. So for those unaware, Minnesota has fired Dean Evison as head coach and assistant coach Bob Woods as well, and they've named John Hines the new head coach. So I believe he's already played a game. I think they won against St. Louis. I want to say. I feel like it's pretty common that the head coach, no matter which situation, they win the first game. Like, it's pretty. Yeah. They beat the Blues. So,
Nice.
yeah, Hines is in. Another recycled coach. Was just in the league last year. He got fired by Nashville, and so now he's already back behind a new bench. But I think
How do you guys feel about that hiring?
I don't know. like I feel like just because it's Nashville and Minnesota have like similar values in terms of like the way they play like defensively is like a big like I think they're both pretty focused on defense first hockey, or like they have been for like the last 5-10 years. So I think if somebody that did sort of well in Nashville, like they made the playoffs all three or two of the 3 seasons, I guess.
How much of that was Saros though?
4 seasons, 3 or 4. Yeah, so
Minnesota has good goaltending right now, right? Like Gustafsson and
actually
Fleury are
no,
supposed
I
to be.
think
They're supposed to be good.
Gustafson's
They're
having
right
like
now
one of the
doing pretty bad.
worst seasons right now.
Everyone's
Makes
playing bad
me
in
feel
my
less
opinion.
bad for trading Cam Talbot, or for Cam Talbot,
Yeah.
and then now getting rid of Cam Talbot. Oh well.
Which
Yeah.
it's weird because he had a really good season last year. Gustafsson did.
Yeah, and Cam Talbot's doing well this year.
Not for you guys. That's why I'm wearing. Well, I'm wearing Kings because they've got the best points percentage right now. They've played like 19 games, but they're, I think, 5th or 4th in the league in points. They just keep winning, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah, right. I feel like they were supposed to be like a Detroit sort of threat level of like maybe gonna make playoffs, but not like pushing for the top, and they are playing you guys out of your spot.
I mean, we're still number one in the league right now, but yeah, we do have like 4 games in hand on them. So
They're getting there, yeah.
and we keep
It's crazy.
losing. Like
Rangers have a
we just
higher
lost.
point percentage, by the way.
Who does?
The Rangers are 775. The Kings are 763.
Oh, really? It said 776 on here.
You gotta go change your
The NHL
jersey,
website
Brandon.
is wrong, which I wouldn't put it past them.
Well, true.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is 763. Yeah, okay. Well,
Which Rangers jersey are you gonna pick?
I actually almost did wear Rangers.
Go change.
And then I changed them. I was gonna wear the. I actually just got the reverse retro, the first one, the dark blue.
Let's see it. We can take a little reveal.
Hiatus. You can go.
Well, while
get
you
your pee break.
change, Owen, you can say what if you have any thoughts on the firing of Dean Evison or the hiring of John Hines.
I have no thoughts.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll give you my thoughts. I don't think it's a good hiring. Well, I guess with the firing, I guess like I said the same thing about Edmonton. Like, what else are you gonna do when your team sucks? Like, he's been there a while, so might as well try to switch it up. But
Yeah,
if you could pick the better coach. Because looking for John Hines, he is
a better time. I think that's the biggest gripe I have with it. I don't know
well,
anything about.
they're doing the thing where they think they can still make the playoffs.
Make
You have
it,
to do it
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
But Hines is 284, 255, and 63. So a losing record because
284, 285, and 63. Okay, sure.
284, 255.
255. Oh, so but close on points percentage probably.
Yeah.
Or
But
no,
he's
positive on
4
points percentage.
and 15 in the playoffs.
Oh well, right. That's
and also-
that's been Minnesota's thing is that they just can't win in the first round of the playoffs.
Right.
So why hire a guy that can't win in the first round of the playoffs? Is that the point you're making?
Playoffs. I don't know.
You
But
taught me it.
also,
Thank you.
before he was in Nashville, he was coaching the Devils. And I feel like once he left the Devils is when the Devils started actually being good.
Right. So
2019.
you're telling me Nashville's going to start being good, and then he's going to leave, and Minnesota's going to start being good. This is what they need. But
They
you
need
know,
a coach-
Minnesota is
Yeah, you need to go down before you go up.
the whole state of Minnesota is doomed to mediocrity. They lose first round playoffs like nobody's business. All the sports. So it is in their DNA. It is inevitable. They can do what they want. They should just leave the coaches for us to hire, which I guess they're giving us that one. Whichever Dean Evison.
And Calgary
Sounds
gave
great.
you one to
Maybe.
choose from as well.
Maybe. Or maybe Patrick
Edmonton.
Waugh. Who knows? Or maybe just Daniel. I'll take Daniel. Head coach.
Tortorella's still
Electric
available.
Sweet. Pharrell?
Tortorella.
Oh.
No, he's not available.
I thought you
Not
said
Tortorella. I'm
Pharrell.
thinking of the other old coach.
Yeah,
Old grumpy guy.
Tortorella's in
What's his face?
Columbus?
Talking about Daryl
No,
Sutter.
Philly.
No, yeah, Columbus. What's his name?
Columbus. No, he's in Philly. No, he's in Columbus.
Was
No,
he talking
Philly.
about Mike Babcock?
That's it. Yeah, the other old grumpy coach.
The guy.
Dean, how do you spell Tortorella?
Tortellini, and then you just put an A at the end instead. Easy.
Tortellina.
Tortellina. we're behind the bench with John Tortolino.
You know he would lose it.
He's like
He's not somebody
I'm
that
gonna
find
stop you
somebody
right
at
there.
all.
I mean, you know he's been called like Tortellini before. Like someone just like made that joke.
You think so?
Sure.
Or you're like confirming you've seen such a thing?
No, I'm just saying like
Okay,
the
because I
amount
would
of
want to see
times
footage
like
of that.
in your life, the amount of times people like make jokes about your name. You're like, ha, I've never heard
That's
that
fair.
one before. Like,
Yeah.
But is Tortorella? I guess Tortorella and Tortellini are somewhat close.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
They're basically the same.
Okay. I don't think any of us know Italian well enough to be able to parcel this out.
yeah. I'm the most qualified. I got a quarter of it. So wait, go with what I
Quarter.
say.
I
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
Italian food. It's gotta count for something.
Pizza doesn't count.
Okay, then no.
What's next on the list?
Well, I got two
Brendan?
Detroit newses.
2 Detroit. Oh yeah, I don't like this
Well, I
either.
guess one's a potential for an outdoor game at Ohio State between Detroit and Columbus.
Kevin Weeks was teasing it, I think.
Would be cool,
but
and then
yeah,
would be cool to see the rivalry doing it in Michigan, at Michigan later, like a year later.
and I think like Columbus is one of the last couple of teams that hasn't played an outdoor game yet. So, I think they noticed that and they're trying to get them involved. I think after that, because Seattle's playing this year, I think Florida might be the only team, if Columbus plays, that hasn't played an outdoor game. I'm pretty sure
Tampa
Arizona
has?
played. I know I've already looked at this before. Like I think I quizzed you guys in the group chat that one time.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe Arizona hasn't, and then it would be Arizona and Florida, which would be kind of weird. But like, it's like if they wanted to do both of them at the same time, it's like
Oh,
just meet in the middle. They play in Dallas or something.
you can do it in the middle of the desert, but like in the middle of the night, like an F1 race, like in the middle of the night, make it like 1 a.m. because it'll be
Freezing
like
cold.
it'll be really cold, right?
It's not gonna freeze that fast though. It's gonna be melted from the 95-degree day.
No, I mean, but you can do it in the winter,
They
right?
set it up.
It isn't that we were there. We were in Vegas in whenever,
February.
right? And it was 30 something, 36.
Yeah.
Like you can have an outdoor rink at 36 degrees.
I think they could do it if they really wanted to.
That'd be sick.
I
Sounds like a
doubt
lot
they
of
would.
work.
Out in the middle of the desert? Oh, that'd be so cool.
Hey, and they did the NHL All-Star game outside, or like part of the outdoor game, All-Star like festivities, the skills competitions they did on the beach.
Right.
Like it was.
Oh,
I mean,
right. You can do that anywhere.
yeah.
But you're not gonna play a game on fake ice. Speaking of the All-Star game, do you guys like the bringing back of the
draft.
draft, the 4-captain
Yeah.
draft?
So
But I heard
I
it
never
was gonna
seen
be
it.
I heard it's gonna be different because like they're gonna do something where it's like there's not gonna be just one person left or something, which I don't know how that's gonna work. But that was also before the announcement where like Elliot Friedman was talking about that. So it's gonna be a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
With
like my favorite
celebrity
part as a
help.
kid watching
Oh,
the
Super
draft.
cool.
So it'll be cool to see how they do it. And yeah, I mean I'll definitely be watching.
I feel like it's a good time where the players' personalities really shine, and the NHL really struggles with that. Is letting the personalities of the players like show it all, right?
Yeah.
And they're able to like sort of have fun. Like Ovi, always a good time
I was just
up
gonna
there,
say,
right?
did you see the Ovi clip
Yeah.
from a while back when he was like a rookie or whatever, and he needed he said like, don't pick me, like pick me last. I really need a car.
I feel like that wasn't that long ago. Unless that's gonna make me feel really old, but I feel like he was not a rookie. He was like
maybe
I don't think it.
maybe he wasn't a rookie then. I
no, it wasn't
didn't-
that long ago.
I didn't watch
Honestly,
it
was like
in real time, so
5 or 6 years ago.
Oh,
But
really?
'cause
Okay.
He was saying like he wanted a car. Like he already had money, but he was trying to get a car to donate it to like some Washington thing, and then they found out about that, so they gave him a car anyway.
Well,
With the old take a shot at the year, and I'm gonna look it up.
I
Did
think
you
you
think-
are right, Dean, that it
Yeah, I'm
was
gonna-
not.
I'm gonna say 2018 or 2017.
I think I saw maybe 20. I think it felt like I saw a 5, so I'm gonna say 2015.
I think it's like 2013. I think it's a little earlier.
There's no way it was a decade ago. That would be crazy.
Well, life comes at you pretty fast, Dean.
I watched it live. Well, I guess I watched.
Life comes at you. So what?
Well,
Sorry,
like,
what were
that
the
You've been
feels-
watching
numbers again?
TV for a long time.
That feels more recent than like watching the Stanley Cup Finals in 2011 and 2013. I watched those live too. Those seem like forever ago.
What were the guesses?
2017.
I said 2015.
January 23rd, 2015.
Bingo.
It wasn't a decade ago. It was only 8 years ago, Dean.
So
You
it was
are old.
right before college.
We are old.
It was in my senior year of high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Or
I was not watching hockey at the time.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
That's a
But
long
hey,
time
here we
ago.
are.
That's why I don't remember seeing it because I didn't
Crazy.
watch.
I did go back at one point. This was maybe when I had just gotten into Clarkson, and my parents were telling me about it, and they were telling me about hockey, and I was looking more into it. I watched 3 or 4 full All-Star weekends, supercut on YouTube. Yeah.
I did that same thing. I watched the one with like Patrick Kane doing like the Superman.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The slap
that's the one
shot.
I remember the
Yeah.
most. Yeah.
And Ovi the tourist, the Canadian tourist with
I think that was
the bucket
same
hat.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
You go back and watch it,
You never
Brendan.
know what's gonna get somebody
They're really
to watch
good.
the league.
Right?
Well, I mean, the first things I watched on YouTube were the full-on line brawl
Yeah.
fights. Like there was an edit. It was the Flyers and
Mhm.
someone, and it would just like do like the old like time cards, like first period or whatever, and then it would cut, and it was like playing like Metallica in the background. And it was just,
That's so cool.
I'm pretty sure like Enter Sandman. I'm gonna have to find this.
That feels
but-
so New England to me as well. That, like,
Yeah,
very fits the
I mean,
bill.
yeah, I don't know, but it was so like early 2000s. Yeah, just basically cut to every fight, like throughout the game. It's probably a 5 or 6 minute video. But it was really
Jeez, 5 or 6 minutes worth of fights
good.
throughout a
Just straight
game.
fighting.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
I did see the
The league's different these days.
I watched like
Things up
a
this year.
recap video on like the Sportsnet YouTube channel, and they do include the fights and stuff sometimes.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So,
I like the Sportsnet ones.
because we were saying the
Sportsnet
NHL
game
doesn't do that. But
Right,
you also
which
get
kind of
usually
makes
get
sense.
usually get different. Like if it's a Sportsnet one, you always get like the Canadian broadcaster like commentating. So if you want to hear like the U.S. call, you're only gonna get that on the NHL ones, I think.
Why would you want to listen to a U.S. call? It's like listening to British people commentate on football. It's just not right.
No, I like a lot of the
Canadians,
US
Canadians,
guys.
nah.
I
they
mean,
know
a lot
hockey.
of them are
They
Canadian.
are
I'm just saying they play
That's
for
fair.
the American teams or not. They don't play for. They work for.
Right. I guess that's fair.
Some of
They
them
do
could
have
have played
an
for.
employer. Some of them did.
Trying to think. I don't
Noodles.
know if there are many many commentators that played for the team. That,
Ooh.
Like I feel like the same
I
team.
don't. Yeah, I don't know if Jamie McLennan played for the Sens.
Like,
I don't think he did.
I know Shane Knighty, who's the color guy for Vegas, played for the Bruins, and he was actually on the 2011 Cup run. But
Okay.
you know, he's
I was
like
gonna say,
a,
he probably
like a
wasn't
third-
recent enough to play with the Knights.
he was like a third pair D man. Oh yeah, I know. I'm not saying.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm just saying like
Somebody is already retired.
He's
Yeah,
not
Stone is
playing
just
for
gonna
the-
go up in the booth and start hitting the lines afterwards.
I was just saying that he doesn't commentate for the Bruins.
Right.
He commentates for Vegas, obviously.
But that position is very very solidly taken for now.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if there are any like that. Well, was Eddie Olczyk maybe? Was he ever the Flyers like exclusive like color commentator?
Commentator?
Guy? Or was
Yeah,
he
like
always,
the NBC
or was
Philadelphia.
he
I think he was always,
national? Yeah.
which means he probably did do a Flyers game at some point, right?
Oh, I'm
like
sure. Yeah, he's done a bunch.
there have been people who have commentated
Teams
for
that
the
they
team
play,
that they
yeah.
have played for. But I don't know if anybody's like had that job.
Yeah.
You're saying not color. You're saying just play by play.
Either like
Because Andy Brickley played for the Bruins.
Okay, there we go. That was easy. We could have just let Dean chime in, and the whole
I,
thing would be
I,
over.
I want the conversation to
Yeah.
Sure.
go
It's
on
not
a
like we
bit.
don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah,
Do you guys?
exactly.
I've wondered this before. Do you guys think it's a better job to be a national broadcaster or be the team, like the team play-by-play guy or color,
Team
What's
seems
whatever?
like more
better?
fun
Team.
because then
Like,
like you get to know like you're watching the same team every night, so you get kind of like more familiar. It's easier because you only need to memorize the other team's players
yeah.
versus you need to do extra studying like every single game. You need to know the whole league,
Yeah.
and it's
Mm.
a lot of players. And I mean, you have to learn everything on a macro level, and I guess and to be a certain team, you're doing it on a micro level and need to know like all the details. But I still think that's easier, especially if you're a fan of that team. Which if you're not, you will be once you start doing it for a few
You
years.
can't not be, right?
Yeah.
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 By definition. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess the allure of the national one is that you get to go and see every all. I guess the home person, you also see all the teams, right, one by one. But you get to see more different matchups, I guess, which is exciting.
And you make more money,
I feel like they get
probably.
to
Well,
like. Do they get to
yeah, definitely
pick
more money.
their games? Like maybe during the playoffs. Like did Doc pick? Like I feel like he
Oh,
always like
some
was
people
like
picked.
yeah
I
like
think they just assign their best broadcasters for the big games.
To
yeah
the most important.
So
But
like
I'm sure if
Like
Doc
Bruins
had a
Toronto, it was
choice,
always Doc and Eddie because it was like
yeah.
they were like the A team.
right yeah. Like I feel like yeah they would pick like okay I'm definitely gonna watch like this Metro Division one like
Hmm.
Capitals versus Penguins or Rangers versus whoever. It's like yeah they kind of had their niche sort of thing. So maybe there's a little bit of leeway there. But I mean yeah I've also sort of thought being the local guy would be a better job. And you get to know like the fans on a little bit more of an intimate level too if that's something that you care about, like because pretty much most I would say most fans like that get pretty into the a team prefer their guy versus the national broadcasters. Like a lot of people are like, oh well, these national guys are like they complain that they're chatting up the opponent a lot and they barely talk about their team. I feel like every fan base says it.
They talk about like the big storyline, like every national broadcast. They talk about how Bergeron retired. They're getting over it now, actually, like almost halfway through the year or whatever. But and they're without their previous captain, Patrice Bergeron. It's like, yeah,
Right.
we hear this. Like, I get like you're catering to like the other fans, and like if you're a Chicago fan, and it's like that's still the first week or so. It's like maybe you don't know that, and
Yeah, yeah,
but just hearing the obvious things about your team from the national broadcasters, which like the local guys know, well, they said it the first day, and they know that like
Hmm.
they know that you as a fan, if you're watching this, probably know that already.
right.
So
Right.
those kind of things can be annoying, or even sometimes they just make mistakes and again just don't
Hmm.
know
Because they
enough
don't know the team
about
as well.
like yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it. Yeah, it definitely happens a little bit, but I think the national guys are usually pretty good about like fact checking things and like keeping up to date. Plus, they have like a team where they're like feeding them live stats and stuff, which is always helpful.
Hmm.
Um, I always sort of wonder like how prepared some of these guys are, like if they really have a lot of these stats and like just key things with the league going on like memorized, or if they get fed a lot of it. I feel like
I should have
I don't
sent you
know.
the video. I saw one. It was a binder full of pages in like paper plastic protectors sleeves, right?
Laminated.
Handwritten, not laminated, just like slipped into a sleeve, right? So it can be taken out and written on, right? And then put
Mm.
back in. But protected and like in a binder, and like a dozen of them, all both sides, color coded, handwritten, like tight, tiny. It was super cool. I forget which commentator it was, but it was somebody who does that, and they will flip into it and like saying what each page does. They can't like zoom in and like show you exactly what it is, but just to be able to see just the jumble of everything, and he knows exactly where to like flip to note each spot, and your own handwriting especially. Like I imagine you get so in rhythm in that. I'll have to find that and send that to you because it was really neat to see.
Jack Edwards made his own algorithm when it's like you know how like some announcers after goals they'll be like I've always been surprised how quick they are about this. Like I wonder if they do it before the game. They're like this is his 300th career assist or whatever like on that
Mm,
goal and
Yeah.
like I wonder if they just know it's like all right here's all the milestones that could happen tonight and they just do that ahead of
right, all
time.
the close ones.
Yeah, I've wondered that.
Then there's like how long do they have this queued for? Like when Mason Lorai scored, he's like, oh, he's the first person from Louisiana to score a goal. It's like, have you been waiting on that all season for
Yeah,
him
I
to get his
know,
first
right?
goal? And it's like you just have that in your back pocket, like waiting.
Okay.
I feel like
You
that
have to,
definitely
right?
that happens definitely. Yeah.
Like there's so many things where like they're on it on top of that stat as soon as a goal gets scored.
Yeah.
That's always impressed me.
Yeah. No, it's really awesome, and it's like a dream job for me basically. I don't think I'll ever get there, but it would just be really cool to do that and have
You got
such a rare
the
privilege.
knowledge and the memory and the passion.
I would
start.
I would say so.
A lot of all that.
This is my video interview, my documentary for when I'm actually trying.
You know what we should do? We should
This is
have
what
a
I was
video. We should make a separate video where me and Owen are playing Chell and you can be the play-by-play guy.
I have thought
Yeah.
about that actually. I feel like the skills are not transferable though. Like as far as like actually viewing players on ice and like, because I'm sure it's
Sure.
tough to like
We'll play in
see the player
broadcast
numbers
mode.
and things. Yeah, there you go.
We also just watch a hockey game silently, and Brendan can just. Although, I mean, I guess you gotta be there to see it, right?
That's what I'm
We'll-
saying.
Next time we all hang out live, we can do it.
Just go to some like high school game.
Or when we go to another pro game together, right? And we can just record Brendan for an entire period.
Yeah, I'm for sure the people next to us will love that.
That would be terrible. Yeah, I wouldn't want to sit next to somebody doing that.
Oh, there's no commentator when you're in the arena.
Well,
How do you know what's going on?
We can just do
How
it.
do you
Like,
know what's going
we can
on?
go to a Sharks game because there's no one near us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
That'd
just
be
in
perfect.
the one like 300 section all by ourselves, and we're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's basically where the broadcasters are too. They're up that high.
Yeah, because
Or-
you can
Like
look
in
down on it,
Edmonton,
right?
it's
And see it
super
all.
high up apparently.
So do
Zach
they-
Edwards always complains about it.
Do these arenas, when they aren't doing well with numbers, is it usually the upper sections that don't sell because like they just don't have enough people that want to go, or is it the lower ones where people don't want to spend that much money to go?
I think it's the upper because everything gets cheaper. Like you can probably get lower bowl for like $40.
Yeah.
In San Jose.
That's what I was thinking also.
Or you also go
Maybe not
pay
40.
$5 upper bowl and just walk down because all the seats are gonna be empty.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
you're
don't
really
do
gonna
that,
check me,
listeners.
bro? Like,
That's
come
illegal.
on. I'm trying to make the broadcast look better for you guys. I'm trying to fill
We
this
did that
arena
in
out.
we did that in Washington when Sam and I went.
Yeah.
Yeah, after the second period, we were just like,
Yeah, and then you sat in their wife's
you
seat.
take Vanchek's
Van
wife
Check's
seat.
wife's
Yeah.
seat.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oopsies. They didn't get too mad.
And the second thing about Detroit is that they signed Patrick Kane.
Whoa!
Wow, you can't ever say we don't come back around. It isn't orderly, but it will. Yeah, and with that, Daniel Sprong was wearing 88 very easily. Was like, yeah, no, that's obviously Patty Kane's thing. I'm gonna
Yeah,
give
you
him
can have it
88.
back.
Like, no need to cause any problems here.
Yeah.
2.75, 2.25. What is it?
Mhm. That's close to what Brendan thought. I was thinking like 4. Like I thought
I was thinking it was gonna be like 4 or 5. Yeah.
Told
Like
ya.
closer to like a Tarasenko-esque, because they were both on the Rangers last year and they were both like signed around the same time and for around the same amount last year.
I wonder if the price has to do
I
with
don't remember.
the surgery, and it's against the same surgery that Paxton got, and it's the
Did
hip
you see the
resurfacing.
list of people that like come back and how many games they played since?
No, what's the max?
It-
Like 15 games?
Like 7, or no, maybe it was 31, 7, 7, 0, 0. For like the 6 people in the last
Well.
10 years that have come back from this or whatever.
The
Rooting
five
for
people.
Kane,
the
not
doctors-
Detroit, but rooting for Kane.
the doctors like for his physical said they were like pretty impressed with like his
Oh,
recovery. or
totally.
whatever, which
He's
is
an
good.
elite athlete. Has been like he's one of the best hockey players of the past generation, right? So if
Best
anybody could do it,
American
he would.
player, a lot of people have been like talking about, Yeah.
For now, I mean, I think Austin Matthews is hot on his heels. But
Anyways, let's not.
this from a lead stater.
Yeah.
I just don't want to talk about the Wings anymore.
Did
Pretty
you
cool
see?
that
They're doing
Kane
too
wears
well.
Pasternak's number too.
Yeah.
Gross.
So Sprong's wearing 17 now. If anybody cares,
Huh.
what number?
That's
he's
Zach
wearing.
McEwen's number.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You asshole! How could you?
Shit.
Yeah, no. And it's kind of interesting that Kane is now playing on all three original six teams.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's like part of that, like, he's like a legendary player, and I feel like when some of these guys like had their last games in like weird, cities like Winnipeg and Florida, and like they finish it off in like a less traditional market. I'm sure some of them kind of like feel like it's a little bit of a stain almost. I don't know if that's how all of them feel, but yeah. So he's in Detroit playing with his former buddy Alex DeBrincat. So I'm sure that was a pull for him to go there, and maybe why he didn't get as much, because I think the Red Wings, like Yzerman, sort of knew that they were the most tantalizing option that would be willing to pay him. Like, he wasn't. I don't think he really wanted to go to Toronto. Buffalo was in the mix as well, and Florida
That's
too.
what I had heard.
So I think he kind of felt like they offer the best package for players to play with.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I think Florida would have been maybe the only squad that I might say is more talented, equally as talented as that Red Wing squad,
I think
maybe
they
more
probably
talented.
are. But not the same legacy in Florida, if that
absolutely,
if that
no.
really matters to him, which
Right,
I'm just speculating, but I don't know.
No, but regardless,
feel like
it
it
has
matters.
some weight, whether it's a lot or a little. There's some weight on that, like original six, whole just like hockey vibe, right? Versus South Beach,
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't like the heat.
cold weather guy.
There's one player in NHL history that has played for all original six teams.
Ooh,
Victor Ivan Lynn. He played from 1943 to 1954.
I was gonna guess that. Victor Ivan Lynn.
Can you guess any
11
people that
seasons?
played for 5?
Ooh.
I haven't heard of any of them. So. I'm gonna say no.
So there's multiple.
How many are there? Oh, you're not telling us.
I'm gonna
Well, I'm not
say
gonna let you
8.
guess. Okay, how many? Yeah, how many people? Well, this is just some random guy in a
I think there's.
forum that listed.
Okay,
He listed
sure.
5 of
I
them,
think
though.
he listed 5 people. Well, there's actually 3 more he didn't know.
Yeah, how old's the forum?
2013.
I feel like it's very rare that would happen in the modern era.
Oh, right. So much easier when they were the only teams, and if you're
Yeah.
getting traded, you're getting traded to one of them. It also means your career has to be around at least. I mean, I want to say 6 years, but it doesn't, right?
You're
3
like
years, right?
you're good enough to be in the league, and a lot of teams want to have you, but you're
Want
not
you,
good
yeah.
enough to have a team sign you long term.
Right,
Let's
want
see
to have
Dominic
you for
Moore. He
long.
was like a serviceable fourth liner. We had him for a year. He's been on like 10 teams. I think he's been on more teams than he's been in the league years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He was all
Just
over the
passed
place.
around. You've signed a cheap deal, and everybody's like, "No, I could use him."
It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
just a
see
very
what I got.
serviceable
Low risk.
guy.
It's gotta be difficult to, I mean, I'm saying difficult, person who's made, probably, multiple $1 million, but it's like, yeah, it's tough to like constantly be like upending your whole life, basically, like, especially if you have a family, I'm sure a lot of these guys don't, probably, but
Right. I feel like if you dedicate the time to it though, and like go live around for 8 years, right? Go do whatever, and then figure it out after that. Because it's not like he's playing for 20 years, right? These players aren't around in the league that long. Yeah, you get to live a little bit everywhere, figure out where you want to come back to. It's a good way to test cities out, I guess.
You get a lot of
Yeah,
information.
there you go.
Little data collection for your post NHL life experience.
You know where to get the best wings in
I feel
every
like
city.
Goudreau should have done more of that before picking Columbus.
Hey,
He might still love
other
the
than-
city.
Sure, the area.
Yeah. Or he might like other things about it. Who knows? There's probably something to like about it.
I've already defended Columbus on the podcast before, so I'm not gonna go
I
into
have.
it
I feel
again.
like I have as well. I think they're a good team and gonna be a good team.
But they're not doing too good right now.
Well, neither are the
But they're better
Sens.
than the Senators.
God damn it. Yep.
Bottom in the East.
Well, not by point percentage though, just by points.
Hey, you remember who was once bottom in their division?
Everybody.
The St. Louis Blues.
Oh my god.
And they won the Stanley Cup
Oh
that
my
year.
God.
Is that your plan?
Anybody can do it.
January 1st.
You gotta bounce off the bottom to get back to the top. It's momentum, right? If you hit the bottom so hard,
Yeah.
straight back up.
If it's a
We go
really
through
steep
it.
drop.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it works with like being games behind. Like we just don't have a lot of points right now, but then we're gonna win all these games.
But you could win the next 6, and then you have the same games played as Columbus, but way more points then.
That would be sick. 12 more points than we have now. That would be like probably 24 points.
You're at 16.
Yeah, it's 16. 8 and
4
9
off.
record.
That's rough. Yeah, because we have gone to 2 overtimes and won them both.
But you have
So
a
a nice
positive goal
clean-
differential.
Oh, right. Which, yeah, of course. Despite losing 5-0 last
That's
game,
like top half in the league.
which is crazy.
Well, you have
Bottom in the
+1.
East, positive goal differential. So we're playing decent hockey. We just can't win.
Well, when you win, you win by a lot, I guess.
Yeah. And when you don't, you don't.
No, but to have a positive goal differential, we need to win and win by a lot. And then when we don't win, we lose by a little.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Mhm.
what we're saying, yeah.
Okay. We can all do math.
Well, maybe.
Hey, I'm a teacher. I
Yeah,
have to
Math
do math.
teacher?
I could have been talking about Dean.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the engineer does math. Just a guess. You know who else has done some math probably? Quinn Hughes.
Okay, I didn't know.
He's probably done some math. You know what else he's done? Score a lot of points.
Hey, how about that?
How many?
Well,
Like
this
29?
this is actually old. He's probably scored more than that, but he was the first defenseman to hit first player in the league to hit the 30 point mark. First time it's happened by a defenseman since 1972. So over 50 years since that's happened. So pretty
Wasn't
weird
the second
year
person
already.
Makar?
How'd McCarr not do that?
I think he literally played a game 2 days later and was the second person to make it to 30. I remember seeing that come up.
I think
Wow.
that's
Did they, like,
probably true. I don't know
both?
how many he's at right now.
Like the year McCarr had 100 points, I'm surprised he didn't hit 30. Well, I guess maybe
Well,
he's the first to
31st.
hit.
The first,
Right,
the
right,
first
first
player to
year,
hit it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess could have been the same year that McDavid got 500 points.
Right. Yeah, scored 50 in his first 13 games.
So Quinn Hughes, here we are.
Much like his brother, he's very good at hockey.
So he's
I'm
at
feeling not
33
so great on
points.
my guess on Jack for the season that he's going to get 150 now that he's been hurt a little bit, but
Yeah.
he's still lighting the lamp quite a bit. What was your information you found, Brendan?
33 points he's at now.
For Quinn?
Yeah.
Did you see how much for Kale? I could have been doing that.
I
thought
mean,
you were
I
doing
didn't.
both.
I didn't just type it. Like I could have found it a lot quicker.
Oh,
I think.
right.
Well, also, why can't when I search Kale McCarr on the NHL website, why does it not just bring up his stats?
I
Why
know,
does it
it's
bring
32.
32.
It brings
Okay.
up
So they're right
1,957 results.
That's very weird.
272 videos.
Oh, like all the articles and stuff he's been linked in.
185 stories.
Yeah, I went to. So the first time I went to players, and then I searched them, and then I clicked on them.
Hockey DB.
No, this was on the NHL app, but. Or
Well, I'm
not-
saying would
not
be
the app,
better.
But yeah, I could have
The
done it
website.
that way. I just typed the second time. I just typed Makar points, and then I clicked the link.
Wait.
Yeah.
The Avs also have someone named Taylor McCarr.
Was it spelled the same way?
Yeah.
Not a very common last name.
I feel like it is his brother.
Would make sense. Brothers typically
Drafted
play the same
seventh
sports.
round, 2021, 220th overall.
That's about when you would pick somebody's brother.
Yeah. Taylor McCarr.
Hey,
forged
worked
his
for
own path while
Lundqvist.
Following in brother's footsteps. Yep. He's also a defenseman.
Worked for Gretzky, or were they the other way around?
7th round pick.
I think it was the other way around.
It didn't work for the other Gretzky.
The other.
From going from somebody who's doing really well at hockey to somebody who's not doing really well at anything, Corey Perry's out of a job
Yeah.
For now.
for
He-
now. Will he get another job?
His contract was successfully terminated. Like, he cleared waivers, so nobody wanted to touch that, which I think was a good move.
Right. It
Not-
wasn't
not
for
worth-
allegedly sleeping. It was not for allegedly sleeping with Connor Bedard's mom. Allegedly, we
Doesn't
don't
have
know. Confirmed.
anything to do with family. Someone.
Right.
Players,
Yeah.
Someone's
yeah.
family. Allegedly.
So pretty
don't know.
sure what happened was, there was some incident. I think they were just recently saying it was alcohol related. That happened at like an organization function, and like something happened with likely another member of the organization. That's all really we know, and that was deemed like unacceptable conduct for the player, and not acceptable for the team. So they basically, as soon as they found out about it, they got him out of practice. He didn't play in the game later that day, and then that's when they went through the whole process. So I know a lot of people are sort of making fun right now because it's the Blackhawks and their recent history with not dealing with situations like this well, but I think they should, like, the current management should be getting some minor amounts of
sure.
praise for how they've handled it. I think
Swiftly.
not squashing the rumors about the whole thing with Bedard was troubling for some people, because it's like they're not
It's very
outright
easy to
saying
do
it
that
right
quickly.
away, but I think
There's a process you have to follow.
yeah, like they didn't have the way to say it, and maybe whatever happened with the actual victim, like they didn't want that information to be revealed, so I'm sure it was a whole process. But anyways, that's the story right now, and for someone who was actually playing pretty well before this, tough for Blackhawks fans, I guess, but
I guess not a guy you'd want on the team anyways.
yeah, probably not.
Right.
And also, so they have Taylor Hall's out for the season for them too.
Yeah.
He had to have surgery. So I mean, I guess they still need to have like enough players to man a roster. So it's going to be interesting. Like they're going to have to probably pick up some players.
They just traded for Anthony Beauvillier. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
They traded picked him up from Vancouver for a fifth this season. So
He just got to Vancouver last year, right?
he was in the Horvat trade, yeah.
Yeah. And that was just last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to like spend to the cap or anything if you're the Blackhawks, but it still makes sense to kind of like help Bedard a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
still your main attraction.
and if it's somebody relatively young or on cheap a deal that you're picking up, like you still don't know what the future core of the team could be. So if you're able to pick somebody up for relatively cheap and take a chance on them, kind of like what Vegas did with Stevenson, where they picked him up for like a 4th round pick from Washington the year after he beat them in the Cup, and then they sort of like evaluated him and were like, yeah, we could see somebody like this sticking around. So that could be something that they have the liberty to do because of their cap space and really a lot of flexibility with what they can do with their roster. Like they don't have a ton of guys that are absolutely locked in terms of the money that they're making. Like, yeah, these guys are not going to go in the AHL. They don't have a ton of those guys really.
Right.
So they can afford to experiment. See who works best with Bedard, especially. Like if they happen to trade for something, like if Beauvillier for some reason plays on the same line as Bedard and they have chemistry, it's like, okay, Beauvillier is still kind of young, could be a good piece for a long time. So not a bad idea.
Other than Hall, is there anybody else who's out long term already? There's nobody on the Sens yet who's gotten too badly injured. Shabbat's not back
Klingberg
yet.
Got put on LTIR, and there were discussions around the league talking about how so he had played in Sweden, right?
I
Or,
think
I don't
so.
know if he had played, but like he
He went.
was
He went to
he
Sweden.
went.
Yeah,
So,
I
like,
don't think he did play.
He might have been healthy scratch both
Okay,
games.
so he played the season though. He's been
Yes,
playing
yes.
the season. So it's like the question is what changed between him playing the season and then now where he has to like be on LTIR versus like the Murray thing in the off season. I think like they went to the league and like had proof that like his injury, like he needed the surgery and like
Sure.
basically they want to make sure the Maple Leafs aren't just like cap circumventing because
Yeah.
like I mean GMs always complain about other teams doing this sort of thing. But I don't know how it works where like you could play or you could get the surgery now and then it's like well you can't play once you get surgery obviously.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
like it's kind of an interesting thing, but I think he is officially on LTIR and I think it's just like gonna go through, but there's kind of an interesting debate that was brought up in the past
Right,
week or
'cause
two with this.
It's not like he's been good this year, right?
No,
Right.
yeah.
So that
It's not like
that
they
fuels the
well, I don't know what his cap hit is, but they're
a
like
lot.
for the team it makes sense to just get that money off the books and not
4.15.
play him. What is it?
4.15.
That's a lot of money for
Which
somebody
they
who's
just
not
signed him
playing.
to. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they have 4 players on LTIR right now, giving them 15 which is a total of $15.8 million, which is
That's crazy.
Muzzin, Murray, Klingberg, and also Timothy Liljegren, who was recently put on.
Three
LTIR,
defensemen. Dang.
Yeah. So and Giordano is out now too. He just got hurt. So their decor is looking a little suspect. They got Riley, Brody, which is still probably like their best two. Jake McCabe, Connor Timmins, who's like a young D man, and then Simon Benoit, who they just traded for in the offseason, like a minor deal, and William Lagesson. So it's like these are both not really young enough players where it's like you could see a lot of upside. Like Lagasson's
They're like first
27.
pair of AHL guys.
Yeah. So
Maybe second pair of AHL.
the rumors have been that like for a little bit since Zadorov requested a trade that the Leafs would be in on him, especially with the whole tree living connection. We've sort of already talked about this, but like
Do they have the space
yeah, I
all
think
the
they might
IR
have to
money?
I think they might have to move somebody in order to make it work. But I don't know the way
That's when Austin goes to the desert.
Yeah, the way the cap gymnastics are so weird. Yeah, you imagine they trade Austin Matthews to make room for Nikita Zadorov.
Yeah, Austin Matthews to the desert, Clayton Keller, and I don't know, Logan Cooley to the Flames, and then Zadorov to the Leafs.
That's not a fair trade for the Leafs at all.
Tough shit. It's the Leafs. They don't get to win.
They just
The Leafs get a first-round pick from either team.
from both of them.
2 firsts and Zadorov for Matthews, and then Matthews goes to the desert, and then the Flames get the 2 young guys. I should be everybody's GM. I'd make the league way more fun.
I don't know if fun's the right word.
It would be nothing but fun. Endless.
Cooley and Keller would both go to Calgary.
Yeah, Calgary's got to get something.
Oh
I guess
my gosh.
losing Zadorov's not that much, but they're losing Zadorov in a first. So yeah, maybe not a first from Arizona, because that's a lot leaving Arizona. But you get Austin Matthews. So you're paying a first, Cooley.
You don't think they pay somebody?
You don't think they pay Cooley, and who else did I say?
Keller.
Keller. You don't think they would pay Cooley and Keller and a first to get Austin Matthews right now?
I don't know. Like
Right now, Austin Matthews, 25-year-old, like prime of his life, like
yeah, but
best
like,
center,
so are
second best
Keller,
center in
and
the
you
league.
don't have enough information on Cooley. He could be better than Austin Matthews potentially. I'm not saying that's definitely true, but
and I guess Arizona's not in win now, but
yeah,
like
you don't take that chance right now.
I would do it if I was Arizona.
Really?
It's Austin Matthews.
We were talking about this with McDavid with the
that gets butts in seats.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews would sell out
so does
he would make
Cooley.
every single game a sellout.
Like
okay, Cooley's not the name yet, right? That's the thing. He's not there putting butts in seats yet.
they only have 4,600 or Yeah, 4,600 seats
So
to
seats
fill.
4 spots, yeah.
If
That's
you were
not as
gonna
many.
trade-
Toronto's many more.
If you're gonna trade,
Right.
if you were Chicago and gonna trade for McDavid, and you gave Bedard, what else do you think you'd have to give? Because 1-for-1, you take that if you're the Blackhawks, Bedard for McDavid. Obviously.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he's
Maybe
proven
like
himself.
what is the other the guy who starts with a K? The defenseman. Philip Khrushchev?
Kurashev?
Khrushchev. That was close.
Is he even
Um,
still with the Blackhawks? He must be. I
is
thought for some reason that he was not
or
there.
who's that rookie on the Blackhawks? Number 55. I know that.
I'd give up Bedard and 4 first-round picks.
4
Kevin
first-round picks?
You're talking about Kevin
Yeah.
Korchinski.
Kevin Korchinski, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Kurashev I don't think is on the team anymore.
4 firsts?
Sure, why not? How far out could you trade a pick? Can you trade like the
How-
2035 first-round pick?
You can't trade consecutive picks. Consecutive firsts. You can't trade your first and your first for the year after that.
Really?
I don't think you can.
I didn't know that was a thing.
To stop you from like tanking too hard, I think, or selling too hard.
No, because the Bruins haven't had a first-round pick in forever. But it's different trades, you mean?
Yeah. I don't think you can send the same one in back in in the
Oh,
same trade.
Kurashev's a winger.
You
That's
can't just
why.
Up.
That's why I couldn't find him. So Kurashev is still on the team if anybody, cares. He's a forward though, not a defenseman.
Right.
That's why I didn't find him.
And not a young guy or
Or
worth that much.
he's 24.
Oh, okay.
2 points.
Korchinski's what, 20?
Korchinski's 19.
Brendan, would you accept if you're Edmonton 4 first-round picks and Connor Bedard for Connor McDavid?
Yeah.
I think that's an easy home run. Take that every day of the week. You throw Draisaitl on the first line, Bedard on the second line, and keep it pretty much everything the same, and figure it out with your booty load of first-round picks as you trade
Where do
those
you
off
draw the
for other
line?
picks.
Two first-round picks?
No, I don't think.
Bedard had 1 first.
No,
maybe.
I couldn't do it for less than 3.
Less than 3?
He's the face of the. I mean, even though he's the biggest name player since Wayne Gretzky to play for the Edmonton Oilers.
Absolutely. And Connor Bedard would then be the next best person after
We don't know
McDavid to
that.
play for the Oilers.
Yeah, we don't know.
He'd be a scrub.
But that's even why that's why he's even in this conversation, right?
Yeah,
he's
I
not
doubt
a
he's a
scrub.
scrub.
He's not. he's proven.
Horvat
I
had a
mean,
good first season, probably. I don't remember.
and he's still in the league. Is
Yeah, but he was a first overall pick.
tough? Well, so was Alexander Daig.
Who?
And
Horvat, you said?
Yeah, wasn't he?
I don't think Horvat was.
Brendan's about to check you.
I thought.
Yeah, Alexei Lafreniere is terrible.
Maybe.
Not Horvat.
So
Wait, who
is
am I thinking
Uri.
of? Oh, what's the other? He played in Vancouver. Oh, Nail Yakupov, very different player.
That's
But I think he
Edmonton.
had like a good first season.
No, Yakupov
That
was
was Edmonton.
2012.
Dean still doesn't have it figured out. Wasn't Taylor Hall first overall?
Yeah. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't he play in Vancouver?
Nail?
Yakupov didn't.
It was just Edmonton and then bust, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, now I see if he had a good first season. Yeah, I mean, first season, 48 games. He had 17 goals, 14 assists, 31 points in 48 games.
Does Bedard already have 17 goals? Probably not.
Nope.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he
Nah,
had.
he doesn't.
He's got more than 10 though, right?
8 or 9?
I'll put him at 12 in my head.
Maybe.
That's my guess.
Also,
I feel like
Horvat
he's
was
been lighting
9th
the lamp.
overall.
He has 10.
10.
10.
17 is a stretch, but he's played what? 22
He has
games?
17 points in 20 games.
17 points in 20. That's pretty solid, right?
Yeah,
Like
almost
that's a
game.
70 something goal or 70 something point pace.
Yeah.
Not bad. I haven't put up 70 points in the NHL.
No, you haven't.
And that means he's probably better than me.
Oh my god, I forgot. I didn't. Well, we don't have to talk about it now, but I didn't put
Okay.
this on the list. But I just went to an AHL game, or not AHL, ECHL game
Oh, sick.
over the weekend.
Fun.
Went to a
What'd you
local.
see?
The Adirondack Thunder.
Oh yeah.
They
nice.
played the Hartford, or yeah, the Worcester Railers.
The Worcester Railers
Yeah,
instead of the Whalers.
yeah, Railers.
Railers.
Did,
Okay.
did you wear an Adirondack Flames jersey?
That would have been sick.
Did you buy one?
Thunder, you talking about? No,
The
I
Thunder,
didn't.
yeah.
I didn't buy one. I thought about getting a winter hat, but I didn't end up buying it.
Did they lose since you were rooting for them?
Yes, they did.
Yep.
I
Yep,
was wearing my Thompson jersey because Thompson is a former Adirondack Thunder player.
Oh,
Did you have to look that up, or did you know?
I
before
did
the
know
game?
that actually,
that's sick.
and it happened to work out that I had one, so that was fun.
They probably thought you were a real diehard fan.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, I guess the diehard fans thought he was a diehard fan. Everybody else thought he was a weirdo.
making fun of the play on the ice a lot during the game. So like, because
These guys stink.
well, just like the level of play is definitely not at the same caliber.
Lower.
It's like, yeah, they just are so worse like positionally, and like they just can't keep the puck in the zone for nearly the same amount of time.
Yeah. Hockey's hard.
The shot
Seems like.
selection is like not nearly the same. They kind of just, if they have a lane, they'll take it, even if there's like, nobody in front of the net to like get a potential rebound. It's like, I'll take one shot, and if we don't get it, we're just gonna go play neutral again, basically.
Yeah.
But it was like, regardless, it was still a fun time. It was, I paid $16 for my ticket. And
Oh, that's not bad at all.
came with the popcorn and a soda, which was good. And what was really funny is, so I got I redeemed my popcorn and soda before the game even started, and like the woman at the concession stand wasn't really sure, like she didn't really know about it, but I just handed it to her and she's like, okay. So she grabbed me the popcorn, she asked me what type of soda I wanted, gave me a full 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew off my way, and then like later one of my other friends who had, because it was like a group deal, so they also had the deal, tried it, and they were like, oh no, you got to go over to this other stand, and then when they redeem it, they give them like this half size thing of popcorn. It's like a day old, or like it tastes like it is, and they only had a choice of Pepsi or Diet Pepsi.
Oof.
And it was a can too. It wasn't even a full 20-ounce, so like they were not supposed to give me what they gave me. They didn't know, and I was like, sweet.
That's just your charm.
Yeah.
You walked up
that
and you
popcorn
just...
cost them 30 cents anyway.
I had some confidence going up there. I said, give me this. Like,
Hey, I want my free popcorn and soda now.
Holy shit, is that Bread from the Red Loves Hockey podcast? I love you, dude.
I'm one of your 19 subscribers.
I think we're actually at 20 now.
My dad subscribed.
Yeah! Let's go, Dean's
And
dad.
I
Shout out
believe
if you're
we're at
watching.
I think we're at 5 followers on Spotify. So thanks to all the Spotify listeners. Shout
I
outs
follow
to
on
you.
TikTok.
Very good. TikTok, we're there too. We'll just do a little mini plug, I guess.
I like every video. It's mostly opening jerseys.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do a lot of other variety stuff yet. But I think I'll try to work with you guys a little bit more on that.
My favorite part is when we get to see your better half. Bree's the star of the show.
Yeah, she is. She was just starred on the last episode, or not episode.
Mini-sode on TikTok.
little video that you can loop for hours and hours and hours.
Tidbit even.
Yeah. So check us out there, if you want.
Support us wherever you can find your local podcasts.
Oh, maybe I should. I guess I should say it out loud for the listeners. The handle.
What is it, Brendan?
Yeah, thanks. It's so it's Bread Loves Hockey. It's not Bread Hockey, which is the X handle. So they're different, but we've only got like 5 or 6 TikToks up there, but feel
That's
free to
Bread Loves
browse.
Hockey at TikTok.com.
Yeah, there we go. At in
Hit us
the
up.
at in the web address.
At TikTok. Yeah, well, that's our TikTok email address. You can hit us up there for TikTok collabs.
You make a podcast
We-
email too, and the phone line.
Yeah,
I
if you
know,
donate enough, we will make Brendan do TikTok dances.
I am still interested in the phone line thing. I don't know how many.
Oh, that'd
I'll
be
do an
so
email
cool.
too, because
Set up a Google Voice, yeah, and just like let people call, and then we can respond to like questions.
It's
Yeah.
time for
All
fan
right,
mail.
I'm boosting. Yeah, that'd be so cool.
It's like, oh, let's check fan mail. Oh, okay, we didn't get anything this week.
Oh, I would call it.
We'll just go on to the next one.
Hey guys, you don't know me.
First time caller.
First time caller, first time listener. Happy to be here.
Long time caller. Wait, no.
I've never called before. This is my first phone call.
It's like, we know you're a long time caller. We've been on the phone with you for an hour. We can't figure out how to hang up.
I want to leave. Yeah, what's gonna stop somebody from just leaving like a 2-hour long voicemail and then we gotta listen to it and just sit here, react?
I'm sure
I'm
you
gonna
can
record.
I'm sure you can set limits on those things.
I'm gonna record the last podcast we do and then use it as the thing that I'm gonna say on the phone line, and then we're gonna respond to it in the next podcast. It's gonna be great. This is how you get views.
That sounds terrible.
Oh, I didn't see the bet that Dean put down from a previous episode about Matthews and McDavid. I feel like that's low stakes. $10. Eh.
sure.
$10 is peeing money. Like, you can do whatever with $10.
This
I don't think you really believe in
never
that.
even get enforced. Like, if it doesn't happen,
Unless
in a long time.
it becomes more money, and then it will be enforced.
yeah, but
Right?
if
That's how you make bets enforceable.
I'm not confident enough in my $10 bet to up the ante. Like, I don't know. I can't.
I
predict the
guess I
future
don't know
like that.
which side I'd fall on that Matthews or McDavid moving. I mean,
And I'm horrible at.
I'd say
predicting
McDavid.
things.
And Dean, you have money on Matthews?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Owen's on
It's
team.
tenfold
Bread.
the odds. Brendan, let's go in on $50 each, and Dean owes us each 100 if it if it works out.
Oh,
our
you're
favor.
gonna do you do 50 together, and I'll do 50.
That's how math works,
Oh.
right?
Dean wants the good odds.
All right, if you want to weigh in on this, breadhockey@gmail.com, freshly made
Oh,
account.
Breadhockey@gmail.com.
look at
BREA.
you. with
If
the
you
quick
can't spell
fingers.
hockey, then don't email us.
Can't spell bread? Don't email us.
Yeah,
You have celiac disease? Don't email us.
breadhockey@gmail.com. We'll see.
We're gluten full here.
We're not. We're gluten tolerant.
Yeah.
We will tolerate it.
If you're the
Extra
first one to email, we'll give a shout out to you or whatever you want, as long as it's appropriate.
That sounds fine.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Whose mom is gonna see this first?
Yeah,
Or
I
if
think, I've been wondering because I just told my mom about, like, my mom didn't know the name of the show before Thanksgiving last week, so I'm wondering if she's gonna listen to this one. Cause I don't know if she listened to the last one. It was like 2 hours long. But
All pretty long. Quite the commitment, honestly.
I talked to my mom on the phone, and she said she watches it and just skips to the parts where it looks like I'm talking,
That's the mom thing to do.
just to listen to me talk. I said,
she
"Yeah,
doesn't know
okay."
the context of anything. She just wants to hear her son's voice.
I call her like every week or sometimes twice a week. Like I do a good job,
Yeah,
but
there you go.
doesn't
You're doing
matter.
your part.
Doesn't matter. She just wants to be there. Wants to know what's going on.
Those mothers, they just love us so much, don't they?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk? Feel lucky.
This isn't
But yeah,
this isn't our Mother's Day
shout out.
episode yet.
No, that'll be a fun one. We can get the moms on the
Get
on the
Get
podcast.
the moms on.
We're not even there though.
The mom takeover.
They haven't even all sat down in the same room together. I don't think at one time.
No.
No, I don't think so.
My mom wasn't in New York often. Yeah, I mean, other than when she left, after she was living there.
I mean, our parents were Owen and I, like our parents were there for graduation.
Right.
But
And I mean, did your parents grow up where they live now?
basically,
And I mean, my mom grew up there too, so around the same-ish age, could have known each other from before. Probably didn't
in the before time.
in the before time. But yeah, we also need to set up that Google phone number because it's way more fun to listen to people's voices. And I think I'm gonna put this on
You
my
can email a
dating
recording.
profile, and we'll see if we can get some call-ins from potential bachelorettes on the show.
Oh, that would be fun.
I think that'd be fun,
You'd be spreading the word of the show too.
right?
Maybe find some hockey girls out there.
I could say that I'm a podcast star, and then just leave it open-ended, right? If any of you are watching and think that my takes are great and that you'd be willing to listen to me talk, hit me up. That's pretty much all it takes.
We don't have Twitter handles on the overlay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
Dean
You look
doesn't
at the
have
Bread Love.
that. Doesn't have X.
Look at the
so-
Bread Hockey account, and I'm the one that likes every tweet.
There we go. That's how you can
That's that.
find
That
me.
one's me.
That's
I'm
true.
the one that likes every single and retweets every single tweet that the Bread Hockey podcast.
I always appreciate that when the
puts out.
notifications come in. I'm like,
I'm there.
hey, it's Owen.
I'm there. I'm trying to expand it, right? I'm trying to find people to listen, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's gotta, and might as well be everyone.
Yeah, I gotta keep working on interacting with like other like hockey, like prominent hockey pages, like replying and stuff, just to hopefully get some people to click. But I mean,
And
whatever.
like
hopefully it'll work
like
out
we said,
organically.
at some point, start shooting
Oh,
DMs
that's
to
okay.
Clarkson players and see what happens.
I'd be too nervous to like interview them.
And they're
I
just
mean, it
regular
would
people.
have to be you two, right? Right.
Well, it's like
And-
why do they want to be on a podcast with like?
I don't know.
Because like I don't know,
Yeah.
What
we got
else
nothing
are
else
they
to do,
gonna
and because you're excited to talk to them. That's why they want to be on the podcast, right?
Oh, I was listening to so like Twitter Spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They interviewed one of the singers from a band I like, and they ended up just like the people interviewing him ended up just like going on a rant about like video games and like not even talking to the singer, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like you have like time for this like famous person, and you're
Right.
like going off on tangents. Like
It's like doing your own thing.
yeah,
But they got
it's
their minute of fame, right? Their 15 seconds, their
such a waste
spotlight.
of time.
Yeah.
No, I think it'd be cool. I mean, make it a little. I mean, I don't know if you can convince somebody to sit here for 2 hours and chat with you,
Probably
but
not.
you can have
no,
it
you
as
just
like
do
a little
interview
inset.
and then
Yeah.
do like other
Half-hour
podcasts
segment.
too. Just have a separate interview and then put it in.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I think that'd be really cool. Never know until you try. You could shoot it out from the official account. Be like, "Yo, I went to Clarkson. We all went to Clarkson. What you up to?"
Maybe
Wanna hang out?
Maybe Zach will reach out to the folks he knows.
Well, I said we should wait until we get at least 100 subscribers.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's probably a fair enough. milestone.
100 subscribers.
I
That's
guess
a
I would
lot.
say that's probably the bare
That's the way
minimum
there.
anyone
Even
would
100
ever
doesn't
even look
seem
at.
like a lot.
I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm
Seems
making
pretty far
YouTube
away.
accounts.
Oh, don't do that.
I can make
I'm
80
gonna get my
YouTube accounts in
bots
one
to
night,
help
right?
Isn't
All right,
it
we
kind
have
of
a
more
phone
embar-
line now too.
We have a phone line now too.
Oh,
Call
very
in.
good.
What's our number?
Put it on your Tinder and Hinge
Yeah.
profiles.
Call into the
720. We had
podcast.
to go with the Denver number.
Of course.
720-507-5496.
5496. I love it. I love it.
Listeners
have it up
are
on the
standing
screen.
by- or tellers are standing by.
Nobody's waiting. Please leave a very.
Oh, we got a call
lovely
already. You're live on the air now.
That'd be so scary.
Live
How
on
did
the
you
air.
know? Oh man,
When we're
I
going to
love
be
that.
posting
Progress.
this in like what 4 days?
Dean's fast. You never know.
Yeah, I'm
he's
actually
so.
streaming this on Twitch.
It's like
I have
that-
my own other account that I didn't want to let Brendan in on, but I actually have
Right.
like 2,000 subscribers.
The Dean Loves Bread Loves Hockey podcast.
He's been content farming me. He's been a secret like internet celebrity. He's farming his own show
This is all a documentary.
and not cutting me in.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's
Well,
like.
I also told Brendan that
Spaceballs.
I'm still
Mm.
I have like a 36-month subscription to his Twitch with my Amazon Prime, and I said he
Oh,
should pay
yeah.
me that money for editing.
Yeah, just send that Amazon Prime money back.
Yeah.
I
Thanks,
think I don't
Bezos.
know if mine's still renewing. I don't think I set mine to auto renew, but I do still have Prime.
If it's primes don't you can't auto renew. You have to manually do them. But yeah, I don't. I haven't tried streaming from this house yet because I'm just not sure about the internet if it would hold up.
Look,
But
3 videos and no problem.
that's true.
What would happen if we had 4?
Everything breaks.
Could
We
we
have to
have
make a
me
whole new
and-
overlay.
That would be crazy.
I'm
Crazy.
gonna
Or just
message you
don't look at
the-
somebody.
I'm gonna message the phone number and the email because you can put in the description too of.
Oh,
I assume I don't know
nice.
how you upload, but I assume if you just type the description once, it goes for YouTube and the podcasts or something. But
I have to copy and paste them, but
okay, you can handle that.
There's your look into how podcasts are made. Very interesting.
yeah,
Copy and paste. It's how we do it here.
I have to upload it in 2 different places. One's YouTube and then one's like the Spotify podcasters, and it's like linked to like a feed that goes to the other platforms we're on, which is only like 2 other ones. But like I
Cool.
just didn't feel like setting up accounts for all of these niche platforms. I don't really know. Probably not worth my time.
Until there's the demand for it,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah.
Any more
Exactly.
exciting hockey news from the week? I saw Jacob Trouba try to take somebody's head off on the Bruins.
Trent Frederick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was the kind of thing where it's like, it was either going to be no suspension, which is what happened. He just got the maximum fine under the CBA of $5,000, or like a 10 game. And it was dependent really on like if they thought it was intentional or not. Like clearly
And they
Frederick
determined it
didn't think it
wasn't?
was intentional because he would have been like way more pissed.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
intentional in the fact like you see his head, you turn and you like,
Yeah.
like he was facing away from him and was turning probably just to like kind of hit him. But I also think Frederick grabbed the stick or something like on the way. So
I haven't seen the video too many times, but
I haven't really studied it either, but that's like kind of what I heard. And
I
I
saw it
mean, it
going
wasn't like
fast.
a serious injury or anything, which obviously would have changed things.
And Trouba seemed like I read some quotes like of people talking to him about it, and like he did seem like that he was pretty genuinely surprised that even like happened, and that he's just got to be more diligent when holding his stick, and you can always just say that's what they're telling you and whatever. I know that he has a pretty big history with dirty plays and stuff, so. It's funny. I am wearing a Rangers jersey now, defending Trouba, but I'm not a Rangers fan or anything.
I swear.
Yeah,
He just loves hockey.
he just loves
winning.
hockey. Yeah, it is fun when they're winning, to watch. But like, and I think my dad is like that's kind of his team. Like, he always follows Vegas because of me, but I think the Rangers would be his actual team if he like regularly watched the sport.
Yeah.
And he
I don't think
just
my dad
followed
ever
along.
had like a favorite NHL team. He grown up in Syracuse, far enough away from Buffalo, but also far enough away from the city. And then was just like a Clarkson fan. He had a bunch of really cool old Clarkson hockey shirts that I remember like as a kid, like young kid growing up. He had this really cool one that the L in Clarkson was like a goalie stick. And it was like Clarkson hockey, super simple, but just like a crisp logo.
That looks awesome.
Could never find it again. Like searched everywhere for that shirt, could never find it again.
Have you found?
We had like a little mini
photos
stick
of it online.
No, we found photos of him wearing it though.
Maybe I could get one of those for you so we can pop it up.
A photo of my dad wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've posted any. I know we have like some physical photos of him wearing it. We can maybe my mom can send that into the Gmail when she's listening. She'll scan that. Thanks, Sarah. Hi, Mom. The Leafs are bad and only have 5 regulation wins, just like the San Jose Sharks. That makes me happy. We have more than that. 8. Wait, how are we last? They have
that
many
spot.
How many losses in overtime do they have?
Well, they also have overtime wins.
Regulation wins.
Yeah,
Regulation wins.
Regulation wins.
Gotcha.
So they have a lot of overtime wins. They just won in the shootout last night. I messaged you guys in the group chat. So Florida had thought that they won. I don't remember which player it was. Thought that he had scored, but he double tapped the puck. Like he had an initial shot and then he just sort of nudged it into the pad in order to like get it across. So they said it
I'll
didn't
tell you
count.
because you texted in the group chat.
Yeah. So
And then I saw when the Leaf
the
player.
Leafs immediately scored after that in the next
Rodriguez.
round. Yeah,
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. So he thought he scored. And then Cousins was the last guy to go, which it would have been kind of fun because he was the one who eliminated the Leafs in overtime last year. But he misses, and that's the game.
Yeah, when the Leafs player goes and scores, the door in, I want to say either the door in the boards
Yeah, it was
or on the,
open
yeah, it was open
because the players
while they were going
were
down.
still coming back. Like players from the Panthers had already left and like went to the locker room. They thought the game was
Right.
over before like the refs took one more look at it. And then they were like, "You guys better get back there. The game's still going on." So I wonder how many
in the middle of it,
many
just wasn't.
Leafs fans left. Had
Right,
already left the
thinking they
building,
lost.
and then they find out. They're like, wait,
Oh, JK, we won.
wait, what? Yeah. So that was
Crazy.
That was crazy. I think it was Noah Gregor too was the one that scored the. Oh, or no, it wasn't him. It was like a young defenseman. I can't remember, but they like immediately score in the shootout right after it. It's like, of course. So
Yeah, just how it goes.
But yeah, Toronto.
Don't like the Leafs win.
Toronto's still like not playing at the level that they should be playing at. Like they've been sort of scraping by. So be interesting to see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
They're always going to be big topic of discussion, of course.
Yeah, a lot of scrutiny, but also they kind of earn it when they pay a lot of people a lot of money to supposedly be really good and win hockey games. And then they don't.
Yeah, Marner's
That's
been
the
pretty
kicker.
Marner's been pretty disappointing so far. We're officially a quarter of the way through the season, by the way.
Oh, exciting.
So
We're last.
big milestone.
But yeah, thank you Sharks, for letting us not be last in the league. Much appreciated.
And the Wild.
They did
and
just
I think
beat.
the Blackhawks too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you guys are.
The Sharks just beat the
28th.
Caps.
Don't you want Celebrini though?
I want playoffs.
Well, we're not getting that this year.
Mm. At
No,
least your $10 says that.
Don't start it
My
all up
$10
again.
says we will.
Don't
My
start
$10
this up
says
again.
we will.
What
It's
percent
now
chance do you think Money Puck has for you to make the playoffs?
42.
Put-
38.
How about like 4 or 2?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
6.8.
Damn. I was last time I looked was like 2 weeks ago. Or maybe it was just after the 2 Sweden games. We're so far back. Yeah. 8 and 9's not great.
0.1% chance for the Sharks. I wonder how soon they can get mathematically eliminated.
Yeah. Mhm.
It usually doesn't
Jeez.
happen until at least like early February, I feel like.
They could set a record for that too, maybe.
I don't know if
The
Yeah.
Oilers are still
that
at
historically bad this
47.3%.
year.
I mean, they were to start.
Yeah, that's true. But like
They have picked up some games though.
They've been turning it around.
5 whole wins
Same as the
in
Leafs.
regulation. Same as the Leafs.
Just keep circling back.
Yeah.
I don't like that the Bruins are only at 82.3%.
Percent what?
Well,
They'll make the playoffs.
to make the playoffs.
Oh, boo-hoo.
I've heard like, there's only so much you can really say about the money puck stuff. Like it's not-
Vegas is at 67.3.
Yeah, like Vegas was kind of for a long time in the season last year, like they were not getting the respect I think a lot of Vegas was saying as far as their like percentage to still make the playoffs and stuff, and like win the final and everything, and it's like you can never really know for sure. It's all just like models and whatever, and there's always going to be inaccuracies, and they play the games, so it's like
Right.
this is how it maybe should go on paper based on this, but
But you do have to go out there and like
you gotta play.
right play the hockey game, and somebody might get the flu at some point, right? Like there's so much stuff you just
You can never know.
can't even predict. Like Olmark gets the flu for a month. What happens to the Bruins? Who knows? Maybe they're fine. Maybe they're not. But you wouldn't have been able to guess that from the onset of the season.
Yeah.
They'll probably make the playoffs though, even though I don't know if I had them in my bracket this year. I definitely may have left them out.
Yeah, I think you probably had to in order to make it work.
To shoehorn the Sens in.
Yeah,
'Cause,
well, maybe
I
not.
want to say it was. I might have left the Leafs out.
No, you
Dirty
had them
Leaf.
playing. You had them playing.
Oh, right. Yeah, we were playing each other. I had to have the Leaf win so
Yeah.
that we could be first, fourth. Yeah. Well, neither of those seem very likely. Which is more likely, a Toronto President's Trophy or a Sens playoff berth?
Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto President's Trophy, you think, at this point still?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have more faith in them turning around than Ottawa.
That's fair. They've done it more often than we have.
Yeah. They've been
We've won more playoff
good in the
rounds
regular season.
since 2015 than them.
Okay.
Since 2018, we haven't.
Not more playoff games though.
Nope.
Not even close.
Nope.
Pretty
It
much,
was one
Toronto
time.
pretty much always makes it the distance. At least.
Yeah, I mean,
They win at least three
get
games
in
every
there.
year.
Yeah, right. They make it to the end of that first round. We make it to May, and then stop playing hockey. Or June. When does the
April.
season stop? April. That's the one.
Yeah, late April.
I wouldn't know. We stopped playing. I stopped paying attention once we're
We
eliminated.
played a couple May games last year. I remember there were. It was either last season or 2 seasons ago. Like Winnipeg and a couple other teams like had a couple random straggler games while the playoffs had already started. It's like, yeah, they had no playoff.
Why even?
The games had no playoff implications whatsoever, so it was probably really weird. I bet you could go to those games for really cheap, especially if they were,
Pretty
like,
cheap.
if they were in Winnipeg. It's like this game literally is so useless. They're just playing it
And Arizona's in
for
town.
the sake of playing it. Yeah, it was like Minnesota versus Winnipeg or something. I can't remember the teams, but I was like, yeah, so silly. But they're like, the rest of the fans just want to see playoffs, and technically there's no
Right.
reason we can't do them, so
Might as well
let's
just
get going.
yeah.
So we're just trying to have a longer episode every week. Is that what's going on?
Well, we had a lot of preamble, but I think we can.
Oh, that's
pretty much wrap it
true.
up.
Yeah, we did. I did start recording at like 5:30, and then Owen went on his adventures.
Yeah.
You started recording at 5:30.
Well, I just start OBS. Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna
okay.
have all this fun stuff to sift through.
But I mean, that's hour 45 of meat.
Yeah.
Well, maybe hour 30 of
Potatoes.
meat, and then plus all the extra stuff at the beginning. There's at least 15 minutes of good stuff.
Oh,
You can let the credits go
the
at
credits,
the end
yeah.
and just have it roll in the background.
Thanks to all our Patreon subscribers.
Yeah.
Edited by Dean
Yeah,
over and over and over.
video done by audio, film,
Yeah.
costume design.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, Brendan?
I was just gonna say that I noticed this. I think it was yesterday or maybe 2 days ago. I want to say it was yesterday. The Panthers Toronto game where the Panthers had a double minor, and I checked like the NHL app, and it just showed like a power play of 2 minutes. And like as I was watching the game, like the NHL app wasn't updating. Like usually, like the timer will tick down. And I was like, I bet it only can show up to 2 minutes. And sure enough, as soon as it started ticking over into the ones, the NHL app updated. I was like, oh my god, it can't even show a freaking double minor.
That's
Like you would,
ridiculous.
like, that's completely different information. Like, you might tune in because your team's at a double minor. It's like, okay, I might get to see like 3 solid good minutes of power play time. Like, my team might
Yeah.
actually score here. Versus like, yeah, it's still a power play, which is exciting, but if it's only, I'm not saying it's likely, but just one more stupid thing with the NHL app, which I know you guys have both already boycotted it at this point. I don't think I'm too far behind.
Join the
The other
bandwagon.
thing I was trying
It's
to
not
see
worth
is, I don't know, on ESPN app where you would see the goal type. Like, you know how NHL has
Ooh.
like.
Yeah.
It doesn't show you on the app anymore, right? It's just
Oh no, you do have to go to the
the
website. Yeah,
website.
you're right.
So if you wanted to find that information, you need the website anyways.
Play by play, but I don't know how to sort by goals. Oh, all events.
I think when you
Goals.
go to box or
All events. Goals.
sure.
But it doesn't change. Shows the map. But it
The
doesn't show
event
the-
summary, is that what you need?
I just want to know what type of goals.
Well, there was one that was just scored by the Rangers, right? It says Keandre Miller, goal, 3, slap shot.
It does say that. Okay.
And then yeah, you show filters and you just do
Oh,
just
I think
goals.
so. You just gotta
All
click
players, all
on
events.
like. I think we were thinking because the previous app, or the previous, like, version, had it where it showed it right on the like little area where it shows who scored. Like, you didn't have to click anything to get that information. You could just scroll through.
Right.
Like, they just taken information away that was useful and not done a good job of making it easy to find it in other places.
Yeah.
It's been a very frustrating experience ever since this happened, and I really wish that I could revert my app and go back to the way
I
things
tried.
were. Yeah.
I did. I downloaded the old version.
You got the
and it made me
the old
update.
version, and it forced you to update.
That's silly.
Yeah.
It's just less effective. But hopefully at some point it means that they're setting a framework for something that works better.
I just can't believe all of the features and options that they've just removed and they continue to do after, like, it's been released. Like, there have been more and more things that I'm like, oh, that's gone. Like, it was literally in this version and now it's not here. Like, along with the things that they already took out with the big update change. Just, that's annoying.
You got to write a strongly worded letter.
You know what?
Granted, I don't know who to.
We gotta get some
Gary.
clout.
Yeah, right. Get some clout.
Gary.
Batman will listen once we get probably 100 subscribers, right?
I think that's his limit. Yeah.
That's when we get the meeting with the commish.
Yeah,
Which jersey would you wear?
That's our first interview.
What jersey do you wear when you're meeting the commissioner?
By then, I'll probably have a jersey of the show, so I just wear
You have to
that.
Yeah,
do
right.
Arizona because that's his favorite.
Yeah,
Arizona is his
he would love that. Like, oh, good choice.
I'll show up in Matthews, Arizona jerseys. We believe.
Yeah, we're just trying to, like, will a trade into happening by,
Hey,
like,
Gary,
we-
hint, hint.
We don't talk about it at all. We
Like-
just talk about the podcast and like
Not that he
we're
has
not.
any control over that.
yeah,
Right.
definitely
Oh.
not.
hmm
Oh. I think we could probably wrap it up here. It was pretty chock full. I had a lot of things going on this week, so we'll close here. But Owen, once again,
I had a great time. Yeah.
Great to have you, and
Happy to have you guys here on my podcast.
Yes,
and
thank you
we
for having
think-
us.
Yeah, that was a great, really great opportunity.
No, always happy to be here.
Sure
You
you'll
know,
call
I'll
in.
always support you. I will definitely call in so somebody else can talk about me and I can be on the podcast every time, even when I
There you
can't
go.
be here. No, I
Don't
love
forget
it,
to email as well.
obviously. And we'll get the Tinder hookup.
There you
We'll
go.
get the numbers flowing.
The
I'll
numbers
let you
are
know if it
flowing.
works. Well, I guess you'll let me know if it works.
Just say before I accept any messages, you must subscribe to this podcast.
Right.
That probably
If you'd like to
will-
hit me up, you can hit me up in the comment section of my latest episode I've been featured in.
This is something I care about a lot. So
Right?
This is a rule
I'm
breaker.
passionate.
All right,
yeah,
a deal
it's
deal
my deal
breaker.
breaker. I only date subscribers.
Right. Oh, that's a small pool.
Yeah, really small.
Also, it's probably like 99% male.
Right. Or our moms.
Our moms, yeah. Very true.
Thanks, moms. All right, we'll see
Thanks,
you next
moms.
time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey. Owen.
I figured I can probably put the headset on and listen to y'all, but just turn my mic off
There you go.
instead of barely hear you from sitting over on my desk.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Pointed to.
We like you best when you're muted, anyways.
You got too high. We can't record.
You can't move. We all shook our head at the same time.